that. There we go. Well, hi everybody. Here live yet again. My name is Katarina Lloyd, as I'm sure you're aware if you are watching this. Because you're probably a subscriber watching this, because you're probably not just gonna come across this because I'm a very lowly channel. But anyways, just want to say hi and give a little update on a couple of things. There will be an official video on this as well, but for those of you watching a live stream tonight, you'll get a sneak peek of that. And we have one person already in. Freaking awesome. Hello, user, whoever you are. Yeah. Oh. Yep, it was you. I figured it was gonna be you. You're usually the first one here. Oh, that's pretty awesome. And actually, I mean, for those of you watching in the future, that go check out his channel. And go check out the most recent video he did, especially. Because it honestly was really cool. And yeah, see, I told you weren't the only one. It was saying two for me. Hey, Jonathan, how's it going? Definitely appreciate you coming on the live stream. Can't see, you liar. Oh, and Jim is here too. Hey, how's it going? Definitely appreciate you coming to the live stream. And if you all could do me a huge favor, if you could hit that like button right there, we are at 0. Every little bit helps me, helps people see the live stream, all that different stuff. Help the algorithm all along. That's good. That's definitely good. So today, I in the mail got a I'm doing fantastic actually. I got pizza beside me. I've got drink. I am good to go. I feel great. Although I look like crap, but doesn't matter. I've been working on the car, so whatever. Like I'm wearing a Chevy Apache shirt that I don't really care about. And pajama pants, and I've been doing that all day. And then I was working on the car. And yeah, but oh, right now, if you saw my hair, it's kind of showing on camera, but it's not pretty right now. But it's fine. Anyways, I do want to mention something though, because yes, we did actually. We got snow last Friday. Probably a good 5 or 6 inches, and it'll be melted by the end of the week though. I'm just hoping it gets melted by Friday so that we can have our car meet this week, because it got canceled last week because of snow. So, but it's supposed to be like 10, 13 degrees this week as well, so it's fantastic. Can't wait for that. Should prove for some nice cruising and stuff like that in my car. But yeah. Anyways, today I got a Super SL Super Stock Coil. Now, and I've mentioned it on my channel before that I was ordering this, and just waiting for it, and finally it came in. And honestly, it was truly like I didn't needed to do a little bit of a modification. It wasn't bad though. It wasn't bad at all. The modification that I needed to do was because from the factory, the coil had this little plastic piece with essentially and on the for the power to the coil, right? And basically, I had to this plastic piece, and now Ford did this for a number of years for their electronic ignitions. So I ended up actually cutting that off and having to get some eyelets, right, for like a traditional style coil has. And so then did that pretty easy. It took about 10 minutes or so. I'm just cutting the wire, getting the heat shrink and everything, and blah blah blah. I still need to get some electrical tape and tape around it, but other than that, it's pretty good. And the performance gains that I got were immense. Actually, it's incredible what a performance coil can do. But also bear in mind, you might not get as much of a gain as what I did because well, my coil was the original coil from 1981, so it was probably very wore out in general. But I gained, because you can't actually, like, from you feeling it, you can't really feel a difference because it's not really that noticeable. But when you're timing it, it's a big difference. 0 to 60 dropped 3/10 of a second to now 15 flat, which is the fastest it's ever gone to 60. And then quarter mile went from 20, it dropped 6/10 of a second to 19.9, which is still slower than when I did my very first test ever of a quarter mile in that thing, and I went 19.2. So it is interesting. Once I get the car running properly and everything, it should get better than that. But for now, it's not. So, well, exactly. Like, and my car right now, I'm pretty sure those plugs are fouled right now too. So, I'll have to take them out, clean them, put them back in, run it again, see if that's gonna make a difference. Because I'm gonna pull the plugs tomorrow. And then as well, something I want to do after I do that, because this is kind of a thing that I've thought about doing, I've wanted to do for a while, and it'll be kind of a cool video for the channel, is, where did I put the thing? There it is. It's over there. Let's just put this over here. There we go. Is, there we go. Oh, you got it before I did. Nice. Yeah, we don't tolerate trolls here. But anyways, I picked up this today, which this is Stp Octane Boost. Now, people used to talk about Octane Boost a lot back in the day, and they swore by it. They're like, every time you went to a track, you'd put some of this in, and you'd just, make a lot more power. So I'm curious what it'll do to my car. It's pretty simple. You just put it straight in your gas tank, and yeah, and see what it does. Which I've already done that, except for I do need to get new wires, but I want to get MSD wires, and I would love to do an MSD box. A friend of mine actually has one. He's going to donate to me. It scratched all the hell because it was in derby cars, but it still works just fine. It's just he's not going to get another derby car, so he wants nothing to do with it. So there he goes. And he doesn't really do, like, a lot of his vehicles, what he builds is high quality, nice stuff. He doesn't really cut corners. So having this old beat up MSD box, well, he doesn't want that. So, hey, I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it. So once that's in the car as well, it'll really make a big, big difference. Plus, I'll have to get new plug wires for it, and I'll probably have to update the starter wire on the car, just thicker gauge and stuff like that on the metal there. But other than that, plus I also want to get new plug wires, like MSD wires as well. But they're expensive. Frick, they're expensive. But, like MSD wires, a full set is like $165. It's ridiculous. So, that's okay. Because right now, like, my car has these cheap Coil plug wires on it. The plug wires that I have, I bought them, the plug wires might be causing my issues right now, to be honest, of it just popping and stuff. Yeah, I've done a compression test. I did a compression test here on the channel, quite a few months ago. I should probably do an updated compression test, but I haven't done one in a while. But, the last time I did it, there was only a 5 psi deviation, between cylinders 1 through 6. So that's pretty good, and it was, I think 151 was the lowest, and 155 was the highest, if I remember correctly. So really, it's not too bad, and like I said, I did that months and months and months ago. You have to go a little ways back on my channel for that. But, you got water there, I know you do. Don't complain. Don't complain. You got water. My cat's yelling at me. You're like, give me water. You have water. See, did you just find it? Exactly. Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure my compression is totally fine. It's just, it's old stuff that I'm dealing with right now. Like, it's gonna be between, because the wires I bought, PCV valve is brand new. The only other thing that I want to do, or need to do, to be honest with the car, is put on a new breather on the back of the valve cover for the oil fill. But other than that, That's fine, which that wouldn't cause any issues, to be honest. And the only reason why I need to do that is because the original one's still on there, but now that I don't have the original housing for the air cleaner on there, there's no point having that one. Just get a nice, chrome one or something like that and put it on there. Just, one of these things that I'll do eventually, just to smarten it up a bit. Like, and last week, on Tuesday, we put in new plugs, and a blue streak cap and rotor. So, I had a cheaper cap and rotor from Rock Auto, and yeah, it was actually already corroded within 2 years. I was very surprised about that, actually. But that goes to show you, though, to not cheap out on your stuff all the time. And, some of it's biting me in the ass, like those plug wires, for example. Now, when I built the car initially, when I was rebuilding it, I was using a lot of Rock Auto parts and being cheaper about it because I just needed to get it on the road, right? And that's fine. And Rock Auto's great for a lot of things, to be honest. But, sometimes you just gotta pick and choose what you're gonna order. OEM can be actually pretty good, depending on what it is. Like, it's interesting. Some of the OEM stuff for my car is actually the best you can get. For example, the distributor that's in my car currently, is actually the best distributor you can get for it. If you get an MSD distributor, you're wasting your money. That's what I've heard anyways. So, yeah, like any of the vintage, like when the guys are running the first generation Mustangs with the inline 6, they grab that distributor and put it in those. And it makes a big difference for them. So, yeah, and they say, yeah, MSD just a waste of money. You actually will gain more power by, getting OEM distributor. So, which is cool. I mean, I might end up replacing the distributor with a brand new one at some point. My distributor is currently seized in my block, so I can't even do timing properly. But I can't really do timing properly anyways because the timing chain is stretched, which I do have the double roller timing chain coming in. Should be here within the next week or so. It's just hitting the border now, I believe, on the tracking. Is what I read earlier today. So, that, I can't wait for that, to be honest. And what's cool about this double roller timing chain set is what you can do with it compared to most timing, just regular timing gears and chains that you get, is you can actually fine-tune the timing up to 6 degrees from it. So that's kind of nice, especially when the distributor sees in the block. It's kind of nice to be able to do that from the timing chain itself. So, yeah, and when that comes in, I'll probably take another trip up to Edmonton, and, visit Roy Marco, and we'll probably end up putting that in together, because it's just so much easier. Like, don't get me wrong, I can figure out a timing chain, I'm sure about that, but I don't have a pulley puller, so it's just easier to go up there. Or if he comes down here, it'd be nice, because all we're really going to need is a pulley puller. And are we going to do any other seals? Probably not. And I'm not swapping the cam yet because I am broke. I'm not that broke right now, but I'm broke enough. I just got paid. Yeah. Oh yeah, like, and to be honest, like, I would love to, while I'm in there, change out a lot of different stuff, but it's just money, right? Money-wise right now. So, I'm not gonna do it. That's fine. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, and I bet it was. And actually, for those of you that have not followed Old School, you definitely should. He has a really cool channel, and actually today he was in a very old school junkyard. Like, this junkyard is not what you think of when you think of a junkyard. All of the stuff in there, I mean, the most modern thing was like a Ford Tempo by the looks of it, but then had stuff dating back even to the 50s in this junkyard, which is really neat. And they got, like, it shut down in the 80s, I think you said. And it's just in, like, in a forest, essentially, and it's overgrown. It's kind of cool, actually. But the problem is, because of that, it's difficult to access these vehicles to grab parts off of them. So, but it is a very neat video. If you guys haven't checked it out, you should, because it's really cool, honestly. It was 90s, okay. I couldn't remember our conversation that we had, but as much. Like, I remember some of it. But yeah, still, it is kind of sad. There's, I mean, everything in there is pretty hurting for the most part by the looks of it, but there's still some gems in there that could be salvaged if somebody wanted to. Or parts, you know, because I know actually Old School picked out a couple parts for my Civic from there, so, which I can't wait for those to come in. Those would be great because it's one of the only things that I'm missing. Oh yeah, like I can imagine being, because when you showed me that thing, so they're in Guelph, Ontario. Definitely not, but I mean, you can tell though that they've been there for a long time, and that's the cool part about old cars. Like you get the '60s and '50s cars. Oh, don't get me wrong, they'll rust, but they'll keep together typically when they rust, right? Um, and you know, it's not until you, like, don't get me wrong, a lot of those vehicles, if you tried to move it, they'd probably just fold in half. That would not shock me, to be honest. There's a few of them in there that kind of look like they were going to do that. But also, like, the cars they had in there were pretty neat. Like, I saw a few AMCs. Like, there was a AMC Matador in there, like about a 73, which was really cool, the coupe, which has a very interesting body style. I saw an AMC Hornet. There was a Gremlin, a couple of first-gen Civics in there, and, you know, there's a couple of Fiestas, all that different stuff. You know, it's pretty cool. The Civic has had zero progress. It's at the shop right now because it's just, I wasn't going to get around to it, unfortunately. My Mustang has been my main focus on working on, so it's at the shop, but it's still outside of the shop and not even inside of it yet. That's still bothering me, but whatever. I went to talk to him yesterday, and he just said, yeah, he's busy, blah, 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 but, you know, I've seen that he's been around drinking a bit, and I've seen some posts on Facebook of, you know, I think he's going through some issues right now, which is unfortunate, but it does happen. Oh no, he knows I'll pay him. He knows I'll pay him. Trust me. I've paid him for every single job that I've given him. And plus, it's technically my dad that's financing this one. He's the one with the money. So. And he knows that. Like, I told him that this is my dad's car. You know, I will probably be the one owning it by the end of this. But still, because I want that car, to be honest. I think it's cool. And I don't know. My dad with it, I don't think he'll have as much fun with it as he thinks he will. It's just, he likes his modern amenities more, it seems like, but well, getting it running properly, because again, you know, just like wiring in the fuel pump, pretty simple job. He's going to hopefully fix the brakes and then do an inspection on it to see what else it needs. And that's it. Not much, to be honest. And the brakes on it, it has 0 brakes. He's also going to replace the master cylinder because we got him it was a used one. But the thing is, inside of the original master cylinder, there's just a bunch of corrosion. It's bad. So we got this other one, and it's good. Timing belt, probably, yeah. Shocks seem okay on it, to be honest. It's surprising. Because it doesn't have, you know, when you get it down, it just bounces once. That's it. So, who knows? They might need to be replaced, but it doesn't seem like it. So, but basically, we're trusting his judgment on this one of what all it needs. Because, I mean, yes, I've inspected it a little bit, but I haven't had it, you know, I haven't jacked it up in the air and taken a look underneath of everything. So, but I've seen underneath the car, but not, like, on jacks. So, there's that. But yeah, other than that, there's been 0 progress on the side. Yeah, the interior's there. There's nothing to do inside. The only thing to do inside the car And he might do this. We'll see. I haven't told him about that yet. But my dad got a 8-track player for it. You know, because the stereo was robbed out of this car, and like somebody put an aftermarket stereo in it at one point. And because there's like speakers in the doors and stuff, which is kind of annoying, but oh well, that's fine. But yeah, so an original Honda 8-track from the time period that'll go in that car. Okay, Saber, no, fuck, stop. No, trust me, 8-track's better. It sounds better than cassette. It's just that noise. Okay, Saber, just lay down, for frick's sakes. You're not getting the pizza. Stop it. Stop it. You silly boy. Let's just move that over there. And actually, I need to look, because I did not see your message there. I saw something about a 4i Fox body. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. I mean, as you know, I love my 4i Fox bodies, and it doesn't matter what 4i it is, I love them all. And old school, the first gen Civics never came with a cassette. They were 8-track, and we have the 8-track. And we have 8-tracks here, so it's... 8-track is cooler, it just is, because you don't see 8-tracks. Like, it wasn't until the 80s Civics that they got cassette. So, and most vehicles did not go to cassette until the 80s as well. Most kept 8-track throughout the late 70s. There were still some that got cassette in the 70s, don't get me wrong. That would have been your, you know, higher end cars. But remember, a Civic wasn't a high end car. It was a very cheap car back in the day. One of the cheaper ones you could get at the time. Like, I think the only car that was cheaper than it, that was sold over here at the time in 1978, would have been... Actually, no, the Yugo wasn't out yet. Yugo was, I think, 81? Can't remember. Yeah, well, for sure. Your high-end brands, and plus also, like, Chrysler at the time, and Lincoln, you know, they did it too. So, yeah, it's just one of those deals. But I am really excited to shoot this video. Hopefully tomorrow, once, because I'm sure the plugs are probably fouled again. So I'll just need to clean them up. They're fine, to be honest. They'll just, you know, wire brush. Be good to go. But yeah. And see what kind of a difference it'll make. Because the new Coil gave it 0.6 of a second. I'd be curious to see how big of a difference this is. And bear in mind, this is a Stp Octane Booster too, so it's actually a well-known brand and everything. Last time it was fuel. It might be oil now. I'm not sure. Again, I haven't pulled the plugs yet to find out. It's been fuel in the past, though. And I should see if I can order in some jets for the car, because it's not running rich. Don't get me wrong, it's not. You romp on it, you don't smell anything like that, but it is still flooding the carburetor. So it's obviously the jets are too big. Because everything else in the carburetor is fine. I mean, yes, is it a tad too big for that setup? Probably, but it's not too bad, to be honest. It's not to the point of where, hey, you can't tune it to be correct. Because it's a 375 CFM Autolite 2100 carb on there. Which, for that engine, it's honestly, the size is fine. I don't have any issues with that, personally, but, yeah, oh cool, it comes with a funnel. And it's kind of interesting, they put it in this giant box thing when they could have just packaged it like that. You know, attach that and then let you break it off. Yeah, so they could have just had it like this. Why didn't they just have it like this? That's kind of dumb. But, I guess it presents better with the box. Yeah, I've never noticed the difference with Seafoam, to be honest. Seafoam has never given me any difference whatsoever. But to be fair, my engine has never been dirty. So there's that. Like inside, if you pull the breather off of the valve cover, it's like clean as a whistle in there. So I don't have any oil sludging issues or anything like that. And there isn't really much for carbon deposits. See, like, now, the thing is, because with seafoam, it actually tells you, okay, throw it in your gas tank, when the way to use seafoam, apparently, is not to throw it in your gas tank. Dump it straight down your carburetor, or with injection, it's a little harder to do. If you have a throttle body with your injection, you can just do it that way. But that's actually what it's for, more so than anything. So yeah, no, I mean my engine's honestly in good shape. I have no gripes with it, other than just it's running a little rougher right now. But it's not even that rough, to be honest. Okay, you did it through that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you won't notice a difference, but like with it, apparently. Well, you can if it's like a engine that's been sitting forever, blah blah blah. Oh, you did it through a vacuum line. That's one way to do it, I guess. Makes sense though, to be honest. Like, that's not a bad thing. Because that your CRX probably has injection on it, right? Because I don't think, did the CRX ever come with a carburetor, or were they injected only? I can't remember. I'm used to my older Hondas, not so much the CRX. Like, don't get me wrong, CRX is cool and I love them, but I don't know much on the CRX regarding their engines and stuff. Oh, okay. Makes sense, actually. Although I'm surprised it went to 86, just because usually with Honda they did the innovations before anybody else. So yeah, they probably just would have went to a throttle body injection system, most likely, like everybody else had. Oh wow! Surprised they didn't do injection before that, but yeah, it does make sense. And then the NSX came out in '88, so yeah, no, I guess test it with CRX and then adapted it into the NSX, because I know the NSX had fuel injection too, obviously. But yeah, see, look what happens. I start talking about Hondas and everybody just dips out. Oh well, it's a thing. It happens. To be honest, though, that's probably not why. People just dip in and out of these. It's totally fine. But yeah, I was very happy with, just the gains that I got from that coil, to be honest. I didn't expect that big of a difference, though. Okay, I will see what I can find. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out. I don't think they have any at Bucks, because Bucks is where I'm gonna go to next, because I am getting that back window out of it so I can get the louvers made. And then with the louvers on my car, that I can, because right now I don't want to sell them like properly until they are that I have the new ones already here, right? As much as I could use the money from selling those right now, don't get me wrong. But what might happen though with my original louvers on the car is I might do a giveaway with one stipulation, and that is and the stipulation would be that you have to come pick them up. That's not that much weight. I promise you, the ABS plastic is maybe 4 pounds. My spoiler's heavier than that. So is my hood scoop. Now, the ones I'm going to get made are going to be aluminum that are powder coated. So they'll be much nicer. They won't flop around in the wind like these ABS plastic ones do. It's just amazing though that they've stood up to test of time. And plus, I still got to get that freaking whatchamacallit. Honestly, I'm not. I like the look of louvers. I'm keeping them on the car. I love louvers. Plus, here's the thing: louvers is legal window tint. You know, you can do that legally and it's fine. But if you tint your back window, oh no, that's illegal. But yet, you can block it. So stupid. But yet, if you have window tint and louvers, you can't see a damn thing out that window. When I drove my friend Julie's Mustang, because she has that, and oh my god, I could barely see out the back of that damn thing. Now see, if tint is done right, I don't mind it, but most tints are done right. So, like, not too dark of tints, and they can. It depends on the materials you use. Because, to be honest, if you use a good quality tint, it's not going to bubble up on you. And if it does, it was just a bad installation. Because, yeah, factory tint, yeah, it's going to bubble up on you. Eventually. They all just about do. But that's because they're not expensive tints. They're cheap tints, right? And that's the difference, right? In the factories, they are putting this tint in with the cheapest materials. So, you know, they typically only last a few years. You know, a proper tint can last a lifetime of a car. Like a friend of mine does window tint. That's one of his sources of income is tinting windows. And he's told me kind of the ins and outs of it, and you know, when he spends the money on the good stuff, because you cheap out on it, and yeah, you just get a crappy job out of it when you're all said and done, and then you'll have to redo it in a couple of years. The Flames game was absolutely fantastic. No, Markstrom was absolutely lights out, amazing. He's, you know, goalie. For those of you that don't know. And honestly, the goals were actually quite nice that people scored. Monahan finally scored. You know, get that monkey off his back finally. And, you know, it was just, honestly, just incredible. And I've missed that atmosphere. Which, oddly enough, I'll be able to go to more games here soon. So I can't wait for that. My friend Kelly, she gets tickets that are like lower bowl every once in a while. And when my dad can't go, I'll go with her. And when they both can't go, well, probably just give the tickets to me, and then I can bring whoever I want. So yeah, no, it was a really incredible experience. Although spending $4.50 on water was stupid, but whatever. And then also something that, because I didn't actually want to bring my wallet in with me, but they kind of force you to, because when you're showing your, you know, your vaccine passport, they need to have your ID with you to confirm that it's you, which, you know, I understand why, but it's fine. Oof. Yeah, see, that doesn't happen, to be honest, like, not in Calgary, typically. I've never physically seen a brawl in, you know, the stadium that wasn't just a hockey fight on the ice. Not in person, anyways, but I've only been to 2 NHL games, so I'll give you that. But still, even Calgary, for the most part, you don't. Doesn't really happen. And people are fairly respectable, like or respectful. Because like I had, because they're reversing Philadelphia, and the thing is, after the game, I'm just waiting for my dad to come down the stairs because he's a lot slower. For me, I can't go downstairs slowly. It actually takes more energy for me. If I go down fast, it's much easier on my limbs and stuff. Um, oof. Yeah, that's what I've heard with Buffalo. Plus you have like extremely like way more passionate fans than most markets. Um, but like this guy came up to me after the game. He's wearing a Philadelphia jersey, and I have a C on my jersey that I'm wearing. But what's funny, I put the C on it, but it's not for Giordano. It actually says Pikachu on the back, and the number on the arm is actually Pikachu's Pokédex number. So this is pretty funny. Um, but yeah, so but he couldn't see that. He couldn't see that it said Pikachu on the back or anything because I'm wearing a coat. And he just said, "I'm sorry," and just like I wasn't sure what he was talking about. Then I clued in afterwards. It's like, oh, he's probably talking about the Giordano getting claimed by Seattle, which I mean is sad, but it's fine. Flames are doing fantastic. They are third in the league currently, so hey, I'm all for it. Um, but then he asked, like, "Can I get a hug?" Just like I don't feel comfortable hugging you with COVID. I just don't. Even though yes, everybody has their vaccines and stuff in here, that's not the point. It's not the point. Uh, Sometimes. I mean, I don't know. A lot of the convention stuff, it can be good. It just depends on what it is. For me, personally. There's a lot of SEMA stuff where just I don't care. Because these people spend way too much to get the cars in there, and then they're not really, like, that nice of a car when it's all said and done. Like, SEMA to me should be the top of the top quality stuff, and a lot of the stuff you see is actually not great quality at all. It's stuff that's slapped together and thrown out there, which is fine, but that shouldn't be what SEMA's for. SEMA should be for the top builders on the planet that, do that. So, well, see, that's cool. Yeah, to be honest, I actually forgot the SEMA was this weekend. Goes to show you how much I pay attention to that. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it'd be cool to actually go to SEMA, personally, but to watch the videos, it's not really my thing as much. Just like, I'd love to go to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like watching Barrett Jackson on TV too, but I'd love to go to Barrett. It was in Anaheim. Oh, okay. I mean, makes sense. Just because of weather and the time of year. On my phone. Majority of the time, I watch it on my phone. Um, yeah, I just don't like booting up my desktop just to do that. It's just easier on my phone. Plus, I have better sound through my phone too because of I don't have proper speakers that like my the headphone jack on my desktop is pooched. I need to replace it. I also need to replace the mic jack too. Yeah, just go through it and get new ones, but just haven't done it because I don't care that much. But yeah, because I would like to, hook that up actually to my surround sound, but it's kind of a pain to do. But that's fine. Um, yeah, I am excited to try out this STP though. This Octane Booster. Oh, through my TV? Yeah, I don't have a smart TV. This TV that I'm currently watching stuff on right now is it's actually a good TV and everything. It's just an older TV. Like this TV is from about 2008 or 2009. It's a Samsung 40-inch. So, back then I didn't have smart TVs, not yet. They were still a few years out. That's cool. Actually, come to think of it, I might be able to watch TV through my Amazon stick that's in my TV. I think I can do it that way. And see, now something that's cool, and they're finally putting it on TV. On Saturday is Showcase has Rise of Skywalker coming. So that's pretty cool. See, I haven't paid attention to Bring a Trailer in a while. Like, I mean, even before, it just when the articles put out a thing on Bring a Trailer, saying, "Oh, this car sold for stupid money," and just because it's Bring a Trailer, they do that for some reason. But an interesting one, to look at potentially, and I don't know if you ever have, because I have a little bit. It is a little more interesting to me than Bring a Trailer. Is actually Cars and Bids. Doug DeMiro made it, and it's cool because it's Cars and Bids. That's where that will be. I promise you that. Because what's cool about Cars and Bids is they do 80s to now for vehicles. Oh, hey, Vader. How's it hanging? Definitely appreciate you coming out to the live stream. And you're a Mustang owner from Vancouver. That's cool. So we actually have a few Canadians here now, too. Not just me and Old School. Now we have Vader here, too. I was going to say, what year is your Mustang? See me. I mean, I do like the oddballs that you get on Cars and Bids, though. Because, it's enthusiast-type cars. But that doesn't always mean that, hey, it's the top quality, like, oh my god, amazing. It can be something completely different. So it's kind of cool. I don't know. I do like every once in a while perusing it. I haven't looked at it in probably a couple months, though, but... Oh, cool. Well, hey, I definitely appreciate it. And I've never actually talked to any of my fans who have watched my lives after. Ah, oh wait, Bullet? Cool. Very cool. Oh, hey, Nat. Awesome. Hey, no worries. Okay, you just bought a month ago. Oh, 08. And in 08, they still have the soft lines on the Mustang in 08. I really liked it a little more in, I think it was about 2012 when they made it just a little more aggressive. But 08's still very cool, though. That's the S197 that would have the 4.6 in it. Modular motor. Great engines, honestly. Fantastic. S197 is your favorite? See, my favorite of the Mustangs is going to be a 69 first gen, but if I want to go for the oddballs, it's probably going to be like a 77 Gia. Yeah, 3 valves. That's what I thought. But hey, it's still a modular engine, though, so I wasn't incorrect on that. And so 4.6. Yeah, see, like with me, I have, my 81, which I absolutely love that car. You know, it would take somebody to way overpay for me to sell my car. Um, uh, I like the unrestored cars. Um, you know, because like they'll tell a story. Like my car right now tells a fantastic story, and you know, and I do love that about it. Now it is gonna get painted, but it's not gonna be like a oh my god super professional amazing paint job because I'm gonna do a rattle cans, and you can do a rattle can paint job and make it look nice. But well, I appreciate that. She's come a long way, and you know, like because I don't know if you've seen any of my early stuff. A lot of actually a lot of the people that watch my channel haven't seen my early stuff. Which, to be honest, I was still learning of how to use the camera more back then too. Um, because when I got the car, it was March 19th, 2019, and I bought it for $500 and it was barely running. It was so original, it still had the date-coded spark plugs in it, which were a pain in the rear to get out because of that. You know, cylinders 1 through 4, pretty easy, honestly. Took a little bit of reefing, but it wasn't too bad. But then 5 and 6 took days to get out. No matter what we did, we just could not get those out. Both me and my dad. My dad's a lot bigger, stronger person than I am. And he was having a tough time with it too. I couldn't tell you that, old school. I do not know the history of my car prior to me getting it. Like, all I know for sure. Well, I mean, you had seen Stitch before, but I guess you never saw Stitch in like the perfect, like when it's daytime. You've seen her at night, so there's that. Plus now with her new paint and stuff, she looks a little better too than she did before, and the sound too. Because, and for those of you not aware, me and Nat went to Bucks last week, and we were checking out some stuff there. We actually got a few things for her Ranger. Sadly, didn't get anything for me, but that's okay. The stuff that I was looking for wasn't there. That's fair. But yeah, like my car, the only history I know about it prior to me getting it is it sat for 10 years prior to me, and it was from BC. That's all I know about it. Um, and then me working on it, I've discovered some other stuff, but it's actual owners and stuff, no idea. I know for sure though that there's been at least 3 owners prior to me, at least, and there's probably been at least 4 owners before me, to be honest. But and unlike, because BC, like if you live in BC, actually, it's really easy to figure out that information because you can go to your registry and figure that out. Here in Alberta, because everything is privatized, it makes it much more difficult to do that. And Carfax can only give you so much. So, you know, there's that. And what's funny actually, because with the Civic, if I tried to do a Carfax on that, it wouldn't let me because that Civic only has a 12-digit VIN. Hell, going to Honda themselves, specifically the Honda dealer that we got the car from, they actually, typing the VIN in on the computer, they couldn't actually find it because it's a 12-digit VIN, and their systems have been updated to only do 17 digits. So, like, and I'm surprised that they don't have books or anything like that for that, because, yeah, they don't. I guess they chuck them all out. Which is sad. Very sad. But, you know. And yeah, and actually, because Nat has a really cool Ford Ranger. It's a first-gen Ranger. Um, Internet blackouts on the 29th? Yes, I did. Um, somebody I guess was cutting lines, so and that's why like yeah, that would have been the 29th, I believe. Yeah, which that was frustrating. That really was. Um, didn't have internet from 2 o'clock until around 10, so about 8 hours. Oh, interesting. Okay, ICBC till about 84. I mean, it makes sense. You think they'd go back further than that, but 84, I guess that's when they went to the government mandated, so that might be why. Or more government regulated. Oh, interesting. Yeah, see, that wasn't what happened here. I still had phone. My phone was fine. I was on the internet through data on my phone. But, um, somebody cut the main line for Sundry for the Telus line. So basically, everybody with Telus did not have internet for the entire day. And it's like I'm assuming it was just some guy that wanted to try and scrap the metal. I don't think he got very far though. So that was frustrating. Um, yeah. And Calgary also had some outages too because hey, look, somebody was cutting lines in Calgary too. It could have been that. To be honest, Telus gives you crap service. Like when it comes to their customer service, it's horrible. Even though the next people that I'm going to be with the internet with won't be. I mean, I've heard bad things, but to be honest, I need faster internet, and they're going to provide it. So no, no, Jason, I saw the pictures of the lines being cut. So because I'm going to be going with ExploreNet, and because they installed a bunch of fiber optic line in town. So, having fiber optic at my house would be really awesome because I have satellite right now and it drives me nuts. Considering that I can't really upload videos here, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, we'll see. I was with Shaw in Lethbridge, and they were fine in Lethbridge. I mean, we had honestly had to reset the router quite frequently, actually, like once every couple of weeks, probably. Um, but it was fast and good. Other than that, Telus here has been pretty reliable, but there's been two outages now, in the past month. Which, again, the one was sabotage from somebody, and then there was one before where, yeah, there was it was an outage for even less, like more time. That outage lasted, I think that was like 15 hours or something like that. Which that outage though had we had no phone signal for that one too, so that was rough. Um, because like that day I was supposed to do a live stream, and that's when I was fixing my exhaust back when I was doing that. So a little bit ago. But unfortunately, I couldn't do the live stream fixing my exhaust. Which, granted, it's good that I didn't do the live stream because it turned out to be really bad. But still, you know, it's yeah, because like, and something that I'd like to do, and it'd be kind of cool, kind of neat, is when because if Roy happens to come down here when I get the timing chain and we do the you know we do the work here, putting it in, is I would love to do a live stream and film it when he's like basically when he hits like Red Deer, which is about an hour from here. And so and I can start the disassembly a bit. And then when he rolls in, we're still doing the live, and it won't take terribly long, I don't think. All once all said and done. But still, it'd be a really neat thing to, work on the car live and then show, kind of how to do stuff. Well, actually, he won You know that he won an award from Old Car Guy for looking the most like Old Car Guy? Because, I mean, honestly, when you look at the two, like, when I first saw Old Car Guy, it's like one of his videos, because I hadn't looked at them, and they were just like, I thought it was Roy, but it's not. So, he's only like 39, I think, something like that. Somewhere in there. He's in his late 30s. You know, and yeah, but also he's a good guy, and his knowledge is quite expansive. Um, but there's still stuff that I teach him too. However, when it comes to the mechanical stuff, he's been the one teaching me. Although, um, I've been mentioning some stuff to him about the specific motor and stuff, and actually, something that's cool that he did. He shot a little short video for his YouTube. And if you look through his YouTube shorts, you'll actually find a video on my carburetor. Specifically, my carburetor with the top off of it running on the car, which you can do actually with those carbs. It's pretty neat. Um, it's one of the few carburetors that you can physically take apart that way and still have it run. And run honestly just fine. So it was pretty cool, honestly. And he was just explaining, how a carburetor kind of works in the video. It's not very long. It's only like a 40 or like a 58-second video or something like that. But it's cool. And mine was the first ever Motorcraft carburetor he ever played with. So, okay, that's what that one is. But yeah. And I should just order some jets for my carburetor so that it stops flooding my carburetor, because that's driving me nuts with that. Just running the car, and then I go into a store for 5 minutes, I come back out, I try and start the car, just really? I have to go full throttle while I'm cranking so that the fuel dissipates. It's just stupid. But other than that, that's really my only gripe with it. And then plus of it's running now, because it is popping. And I noticed it popping a lot more when like that mist got worse actually when I put the new coil on. But I think it's because, hey, it's getting faster, stronger spark, so you're gonna see more of an issue kind of that way. But well, see, the interesting part is carburetors, if done right, can actually provide you way better fuel economy and performance than fuel injection can. It just fuel injection is convenient. That's all. And for the most part, has better throttle response and stuff like that. But like, because something that's cool is back in the day. Now you have to go back to like the 70s more for this. There were these things called gas vapor carburetors. And the thing is, what you did, like, they turned gasoline into fuel vapor. And with that, it got so much more efficient. Like, a lot more efficient. To the point of where people were claiming their cars that used to get about 20 miles to the gallon were getting over 50 miles per gallon, which was incredible. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. It is much more combustible. And, it burns a little slower. So, which, it's pretty neat, honestly. And I've considered, like, figuring out or trying to figure out if I can do mine as a gas vapor. Like, I kind of know the steps involved, but it is a little complicated to do. because you actually need to have a valve and you need to have it set just right for it to work. Otherwise, if it's just even millimeters off on that valve, it's not gonna run. Um, and yeah, I don't know how reliable they are when it's cold though either. It's not quite a gasifier. No, gasifier is a totally different thing. Because gasifier is you take something combustible and you turn it into fuel to run like a generator or something like that. That's a gasifier. Uh, gas vapor carburetors is a little different. You still use the fuel, but you're atomizing the fuel so much that it's turning into vapor before it hits the carburetor, and it just makes it run so much more efficient. And the problem is, back in the day, though, any of these companies that made a gas vapor carb, they got shut down by the oil companies almost immediately. They just got bought out. And then the oil company is just like, well, we don't want you to get better fuel economy, so they just trash the designs, and it's really sad. Okay, you got the okay, you got the window. Yeah, just making sure. But yeah, no, it's just very cool technology that way, and and that's not going to be the way of. Oh, absolutely, yeah, it's definitely true. And now, what's interesting though is for the people that said no, we're not going to buy you out. Like we're not going to sell our company to you. Interestingly enough, a lot of those people just disappeared afterwards, so it's kind of sad. You know, like you wonder, is that connected in some way? And it probably was, but because you know the oil companies, and also it's interesting. You look at over in Europe, vehicles get way better fuel economy than I do here, but also they do have a better quality fuel and higher octane fuel too. So there is that. But the thing is with that whole thing is, but they got cars that get over 50 miles to the gallon, but for some reason over here, you know, because of engine tuning and stuff, hey, they only get 30. Even though it's the same engine, right? It's very not right. And that's the oil companies doing that. But and okay, the whole Facebook thing, it's not Facebook is not changing its name. Everybody has read into that completely wrong. The parent company of Facebook changed its name. Um, like so the parent company of Facebook changed its name to Meta. So Facebook isn't it's still staying Facebook though. You're fine on that. And actually, what was that? Oh, I don't care about that. Okay, we're good. But yeah, in gas prices, honestly, it's ridiculous right now. There's a few things involved with that, like the carbon tax stuff has uh made that go up. Down in the States with Biden, him not signing on to the pipelines as well, and amongst other things, has made the price of fuel go up as well. And yeah, it's bad. Like I know right now it's the highest I've seen in a long time. Like I've seen gas prices this high, don't get me wrong, but but and it's just it is sad, and I there will be a point when gas is gonna go back down again. I already know that. You know, and it's probably gonna involve like another gas war between. Cause I mean, we had that gas war in 2020, with Saudi Arabia and Russia, and it was basically to the point of where by the time you refined oil and everything, it actually they were losing money on every single one they sold. It was kind of bizarre. Um, and the cheapest gas I ever saw, not in person though, but I did see the pictures of it. There's a little, I can't remember what the town is called. It's here in Alberta, but their gas got down to 34 cents a or per liter, which is insane. Too bad, we didn't all have tanker trucks and just go down there and start filling it up with their fuel from that little hamlet. And people were doing that. Like, they were bringing tons of jerry cans and their big slip tanks and everything. All that different stuff. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, and sadly, is it going to happen? No, it won't. Even if, you know, yeah, well, the reason why, in countries like Venezuela that fuel is cheaper, they're communist, which the government is, there's this whole thing of like proper communism where you have the government like takes care of you a lot of ways, and there isn't really much of a disparity as much in prices of stuff ever. It's kind of, when communism works right, it's neat. But of course, Venezuela is quite poor too. But now, what would I do? Well, I'd green light pipelines being built, which would bring the cost of fuel down because we can sell more. You sell more, supply and demand, right? You can start charging less for it. Um, then as well, I would bring taxes down on fuels altogether and make it a mandate where you cannot exceed um that you cannot exceed a certain amount to charge for gasoline. Depending on your region, because of course there is going to be some variables with that and different stuff. Like, obviously, you go to a very remote area, yeah, fuel should be more expensive there than versus like a big city where, fuel comes in all the time and it's much easier to access. But, and just like, for example, up in Edmonton, price of fuel should be cheap because it's refined there, for God's sakes. And is Venezuela socialist? I mean, they might be socialist. Um, I didn't think about that. They might be socialist actually, but I thought they were communist. But I could be wrong. I haven't paid attention to the Venezuelan uh politics in a long time. Though communism and socialism is very similar to each other, though they do piggyback a lot of their stuff off each other. But you know, sure, yeah, you can Google it because I genuinely don't know. Okay, and I'm assuming they're the ones that are in power. So okay, that's fair. Um, yeah, that's fair. Uh, like I said, I don't pay attention to Venezuelan politics. um, they were were one of them for sure. It probably would have been actually, because I know they did boom with the oil reserves in the 70s. That's true. And then when OPEC decided, hey, we're not going to settle the states for political reasons, um, you know, they started buying oil from everybody else. Which, I mean, and in the states it was a big problem, with OPEC doing that. But here in Canada, apparently it didn't really affect us that much. So there wasn't like lineups of people, in cars for miles on end to get fuel. Just, yeah, fuel went up, but that's about it. Didn't have any shortages, but we did make our own, like a lot of our own fuel at the time, and oil and stuff. So it was pretty good, and we still do now. Like Alberta, you know, basically at this point, plus with the and Saskatchewan with their nuclear stuff, um, they can pretty much runs the entire country with money wise is between Alberta and Saskatchewan. Oh yeah, you're not wrong. Like, and it's interesting because Americans will tell you, "Oh, why are you, talking about American politics? Why are you so interested in it?" It's just going because everything you do affects us because we are your closest ally, and it reflects on us every time. So, and it always changes. Doesn't matter what happens. It always affects us in some way or another. So, and that's and honestly, between granted, there's stuff different between Canada and the States, obviously, but there's a lot of stuff that's parallel because of that. Yeah, though what was kind of funny is when I picked up this pizza because I went out to Olds because I did want to buy that octane booster as well. Um, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna order a pizza too while I'm out there. So I do that, and I actually run into my dad in Walmart because he's up hunting actually right now. But he was just grabbing some things at Walmart, I guess. I thought he would have been long gone, but it's not. And yes, and the U.S. is our largest trading partner. That's for damn sure. Although, if this trade union goes through, which it seems like it's going to, is because the proposed trade union is between Canada, Australia, and Scotland, I believe. I believe those are the three. It might even just be the United Kingdom in general. But, and if it does happen, it'll be super cool because we'll essentially get, kind of that free trade thing. And supposedly we might be able to travel to those countries without a visa. So that would be interesting if they do that. Or just say without a passport, not without a visa. You know, use the freaking American crap with visas. Ugh. Just talking with Americans all the time. But yeah, so that would be cool if it does happen. And we get a lot more Australian stuff over here, and who knows, maybe somebody buys Holden, we can get them here. Yeah, it would be. And I would love to have more viewers for my channel, but like the thing is, I'd like to go to Australia, but at the same time, I don't want to. It has nothing to do with actually being in Australia. It has to do with the travel of getting there. Because the problem is, when I am um when I am on a plane, I can't eat beforehand. Otherwise I'll just throw up whatever I ate. So basically can't eat for the entire journey, which is a long, long flight to Australia. You know, we don't have freaking the Concorde anymore, which is sad. We need a plane like that again. Go get a Concorde where you can fly across the world in 4 hours. That's nice. You know, get across the United States in an hour. But you know, I think it was actually Bruce Springsteen that because of the Concorde, that's not the point. A, I don't want to throw up, and B, though, if I don't eat within a certain amount of time, my body is awful. My body will be at a point where I cannot physically eat until I sleep. If I do try and eat, I'll be on the ground convulsing, and it's bad. It's very, very screwed up with my body that way. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's been that way for a long time. But you know, and I would love to have more viewers on here, don't get me wrong, but a lot of my viewers don't care for live streams. They just don't. And it's sad because, you know, these live streams actually, I mean, I enjoy doing them. And the more people here, the more watch hours I get, which helps with the algorithm stuff and whatever else, right? So, you know, for more people to see my content. Plus, people can also donate and give me money too, which is nice. But I don't, you know, require that. It doesn't work that way, Nat. Because you still have to fly across the ocean, which is still about a 10-hour flight minimum. Right? That's the problem. Oh, I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying that. You're good. Trust me. You've donated more than anybody ever has to my channel. So, which granted, I've only gotten I think about 4 or 5 donations from people, but still. You know, sailboat. That'd be one hell of a sailboat to get across the Pacific Ocean. Just putting that out there. Although it probably would be easier to go the Atlantic route, but anyway. Yeah, I mean, hey, you're one dedicated fan, that's for sure. I mean, I don't really donate to very many channels at all. I've only donated to, like, Novitaz's channel a couple times. I think it's a little bit Novitaz. Oh, yeah, and then also one other YouTuber that I watch, too. He makes God of War content. And I only donated because I wanted him to see my message. And he did, so. Too many free records? And that, yes, it can be done, but that would be like you know, back in the day when if you have a small sailboat, that's gonna be awful, and plus you might just, you know, come across really horrible weather and die. So there's that. It'll also take you by a sailboat to get to Australia. That's probably over a month just sailing across the ocean. minimal. So that'd be rough. That'd be really rough. Plus, I have a sneaking suspicion I'd throw up on a boat. You know, being on the ocean, because you're doing this all the time on the ocean. Well, that's cool. I've only been on one proper boat, which it was a speedboat. I was scared out of my mind, younger, but it wasn't until that I drove the boat that I was fine. I will pass on that venture, thank you. I love water, don't get me wrong, but I'll pass on that venture. I don't want to deal with that. No. You can do that one. I will leave that one to you. There you go, 6 to 9 weeks, which is over a month. That's up to over 2 months. So yeah, that would be rough. You know, can somebody just bring back the Concorde and that we can just fly across the world in hours versus like half a day? Oh, you bring it with you. Don't get me wrong. You bring your food with you. Unless you plan on, having a fighting chair on your boat and catching tuna. Because, yeah, you catch one tuna on your boat, and you could probably live off that for the full 9 weeks. There's a good chance, actually. There's a lot of food there. Like an ocean-going tuna. Well, Matt, that'd be cool if you ever do, to be honest. I say, follow your dreams, chase them, have fun, right? Just, we're here for a good time, not a long time. Well, why don't you drive your CRX across Canada? Because you probably have the best car to drive across Canada, because it actually gets really good gas mileage. And I know they have been working on, like, cause what he mentioned there is supersonic flight again for passenger airplanes, but it's slow going, and I have a sneaking suspicion it's not going to happen in my lifetime. I've never driven across Canada. I'd like to. See, now something I want to do, and it'd be really neat to do actually, is do one entire lap of. Okay, so in Canada, drive from Vancouver, like start in Vancouver, drive all the way to the edge of Quebec, then come back down into the States, go down the southern panhandle and everything to the States, and then come back to Vancouver. It would take you weeks, but it'd be so much fun. I've only ever been to BC. I visited Montreal, but I didn't drive there. I flew there. To be honest, though, that's where I had my surgery done, so there's that. And yeah, that's it. Really. Like BC, Alberta, Montreal. Which I'd like to visit Montreal again under better circumstances. That's for sure. You know, being able to actually go out and explore Montreal versus, hey, being stuck in a hospital bed. Well, that's cool. That's very cool. See, now, I'd like to do that journey in, you know, like, my Mustang would be cool to do that journey in as well. But something that is unlikely to do a journey like that. You know, like, you take a 50s car or something like that and do that with. You know, like a 57 Chevy and do that, right? That's with that old motor and everything, you know, the old straight sixes and stuff like that. And, you know, see how it is. Granted, you're probably going to have to stop a few times to fix the car. But it'd be so much fun. You know, because, yeah, like your CRX probably wouldn't have very many issues doing that. You know, but doing that sort of, like, loop of the bulk of North America. Because technically parts of Mexico are in North America, so there's that. But, yeah. You know, it would just be really neat. And all the people you would meet and stuff like that, it would just be incredible. But, you know, maybe one day I'll do that journey. Film it all for YouTube. It'd be kind of exciting. But yeah, see, one of these years I'll get back out to Kelowna again. And visit my grandmother out there because she has a property in Kelowna that's about a block away from Gyro Beach, which is fantastic, honestly. I haven't been out there in over 10 years. I think it's been 12 years since I've been out to... 11 or 12 years since I've been out to Kelowna. It's been a long time. But... Oh, hey, JC Motive. How's it hanging? Definitely appreciate you coming to the live stream. I am doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you're doing well, too. Yeah, we've been going for about an hour and a half here. I don't know how long I'm going to go, to be honest. It's just, you know, until people, like, completely fade out and, you know, if there's, like, one person I'm chatting to, then I might bail out of this. But until then... Ooh, don't tempt me with stuff like that. Not that I can afford that, but I want that. I want that. Although, to be honest, the year that I really want, my unicorn of a car, it's a 68 Fairlane Torino fastback. Because years and years ago, I almost got one as my first car. It was a 302 car. I was only... I was either 15 or 16 at the time. I totally forgot about that. See you, Nat. Good night, girl. Hope you have a fantastic evening, and I'll chat at you later. So, me and Nat, when we went to Bucks, we were talking about that, and, you know, saying of a thing for, you know, my kind of crew here, you know, the people that are usually around, chatting and whatever else, the fans of my channel, all this different stuff, right? as a collective, I can't remember the name she initially said, but then I said, well, why don't I call you the Katarina's Garage Bros, otherwise known as the KGB. So, it was kind of a funny joke. And who knows, I might keep that joke because it's funny, right? Yeah, all of you are the KGB. Yeah, we have fun here. And that was a lot of fun doing that trip, to be honest with her. And riding in a truck that badly needs shocks. Because her Ranger, like, it was basically... I've never ever caught air in my seat in a passenger car until being in her Ranger. Oh, nice! Getting there. That's awesome. Because, yeah, I'm at, currently, I'm at 1,267. I was at 1,268, but then I lost a subscriber, apparently, so that's fine. But, every video I make, though, I get subscribers, and my Junkyard Tour video that I did, people love Junkyard Tours, and, like, I think I got, like, 15 subscribers just from that alone. It was pretty cool. Like, my YouTube shorts typically don't get me subscribers, but my actual videos do. And unfortunately, the last video that I did, I think it sort of, like, it's not tanked, but it hasn't done as well as it could have. Due to the fact that, well, when I was posting my, last video, Facebook screwed up and was not showing the preview for the video. So, unfortunately, every single time I shared it, all it said was youtube.com, and for my link, it went to the video and everything, but it didn't show a preview of it, and it's just like, So that really screwed me there, but that does happen. That's fine. But I'm not going to go into those groups and repost it again. So, oh well, no worries. What's my favorite YouTube channel? That's going to be a tough one for me. Because... No worries, JC Motive. I definitely appreciate you coming out to live stream. Yeah, hope you have a pleasant evening, and, yeah, I'll catch you later. Say mine. To be honest, to be honest, I really haven't watched many of your videos, JC Motive. Like, I need to catch up more on more of your stuff. Because I think I've only seen, like, 1 or 2 of your videos, so... Well, you might be waiting a while. Because I haven't watched enough of your content to say whether or not that, hey, I, like, absolutely love your channel. Because I don't know yet, to be honest. I read that as whoring on my Mustang. I'm like, what? Jesus. Good night, JC Motive. I'll try and catch a few more of your videos tonight before I go to bed. Because I know I need to. That's for sure. There's a lot of channels I need to catch up on. To be honest, because I'm subscribed to quite a few. There you go. You might have a new subscriber there. All good, old school. And yeah, because I mean, what was I gonna say? Crap. You like Nick's Garage? I've heard of that channel. Um, haven't really watched much of their stuff though. But like interestingly enough, you know what? My top two favorite channels in no particular order is the hockey guy here on YouTube and VinWiki. I will say that for my top two. Yeah. And I did see that Hoovy is supposedly selling all 40 of his vehicles. But, well, he's not selling all 40, though. He's selling the bulk of them. Um, but, oh, you do know about the hockey guy. Because honestly, I do like what he does. Plus, also, I'm going to add in a third because I can. I also love the Steve Dangle Podcast Network. Otherwise known as SDPN here on YouTube. I love their stuff. And it's, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake do live streams, and they do a few of them every week. Well, they're not they're podcasts, not live streams, I should say. But then Jesse Blake, what he's doing right now, which I'm enjoying watching the series because he's playing NHL 22, and as a GM of the Buffalo Sabres, and he's trying to make the Buffalo Sabres win the cup in 5 years. He got them to make the playoffs, so he doesn't talk as much, although he's been talking more now. But yeah, he doesn't talk as much as Steve or Adam, that's for sure. But I do love watching those too. The podcasts and that series that Jesse is doing with NHL 22 is kind of fun actually. Trades that would never ever happen in real life. Like, I'm sorry, you're not trading Jack Eichel for Lindholm and Kachuk plus 2 first-round picks. It's not going to happen. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I do like how they do it though, and their kind of camaraderie and connection they have is great. You can tell they've been friends for a long time. And it's awesome. So yeah, and then Steve's reactions to stuff is honestly on point. Like, when that was Evander Kane, because what he did was he faked getting his vaccines, and his vaccine passport was fake. So now he's been suspended for, I think it's 21 games, and he's forfeiting like $2 million of his contract because of that. And the thing is, his reaction was just like, "Are you like?" was on point for that, and it's like what everybody was essentially thinking. Nobody ever said it. And like he said, he'd have more respect if he just came out and said, "Hey, look, I'm anti-vax," rather than doing that. And I absolutely agree. Like, I am pro-vaccine. Anybody that knows me knows that. But yeah, it was just, I don't know why you'd be that stupid. Like, You know, but that's the guy that needs some serious help. Like yeah, I have both of my vaccines, but actually that name sounds familiar. Come to think of it, that's cool. That is really cool. I've heard that name. I don't know why, but I've heard that name before. So that's cool actually. You know what I mean? And like sadly, cool. That's good. Um, it's kind of sad though with the NHL and honestly, like just like how it's run and everything. It really is a horrible place. I love the hockey, but it's all the crap involved in between, or can be, especially with the whole the Chicago Blackhawks thing. Like, oh my god, that was insane. That happened, and they covered it up, and they didn't care. You know, there's been fallout of that though. You know, Joe Quenneville is no longer the coach of the Panthers because of it. Um, although Kevin Cheveldayoff has not gotten any disciplinary, like gotten any issues, and then you know the NHL only fining them $2 million is nothing. Like for that, it's just ridiculous. You know, it should have because the I can't remember whose contract it was, but you know the penalty for mismanaging one of the players' contracts just this last off season was it was $3 million plus like a few draft picks that they had to forfeit. Which that would have been much more appropriate for this, and potentially even more than that. So yeah, it's bad. But you know, oh well, it is what it is. I love watching hockey though, and I love good hockey to watch too. Not just like watching the Flames. Like I watch just about every Flames game, but at the same time, I also love just watching good hockey. You know, because I'll tune into games that I think, hey, this should be a really good, nice game. Like, that Flyers Oilers game was incredible to watch. You know, it's always high scoring. It's always a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, and then you know tomorrow you'll get to watch the Flames game here on TV too. Be fun. And you know, see if they can keep their win streak going because you know they've won 6 in a row, which is incredible. Markstrom has carried their asses there, but I mean the team has been playing well in front of them too. But hey, you, how's it going? Thanks for coming out to the live stream. I definitely appreciate it. It's good. It's good. I am doing fabulous myself too. Um, you know, I'm here, a little tired. Need to have a bath tonight because my you can tell my hair just looks awful. I was working on the car today. You know, got the new coil in, which is great. And the performance difference was quite immense actually with putting in that new coil. I love it. I knew it was going to make a difference, but I didn't realize how much of a difference it was going to make. So yeah, you know, because I got a cell super stock coil. Yeah, very sparky. um, and yeah, which now, um, I haven't noticed it starting differently, but when I took it on the when I did my performance benchmark for that, because I had something to compare it to beforehand, it did a 0 to 60 drop, like the 0 to 60 mile an hour dropped by 0.3 of a second, and the quarter mile was 0.6 of a second quicker with the new coil on it. So it was incredible, honestly. And then plus because stuff I'm gonna do tomorrow is I'm gonna pull the spark plugs. I'm gonna clean them because I think they're probably fouled again. And then I want to do a cool video actually because I've always wanted to do this, and it's not something I've ever talked about, but I'm talking about it tonight because I can. And because I finally picked up some, is I picked up this Octane Boost, right? And I want to put it in the fuel. And, I'll have to drive it around a bit because I know it has to mix in properly and whatever else. So put this in the car and see what difference does it make with the performance of the car. Okay, Saber, no. Stop it. Stop. You don't need that. Yeah, so and it should be a very fun video. And yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd be really interested in getting like some avgas and throwing it in the car too, but and I know for a fact that when you throw in that high of octane, oh god, those old motors love it. So it's not like a modern car where, because if you put avgas in a new car and don't properly tune the computer for it, it's gonna run like crap. But the old cars, because they were technically designed for higher octane fuels back in the day. Now mine wasn't. Like, the initial motor design wasn't. It was designed for 87, but you put in higher octane, it was better. But like, back in the day, it wasn't very hard to go to a gas pump and get 100 octane fuel. Nowadays, there's very select stations that carry it. It's kind of sad. Very sad. But, oh well. That's what it is. Well, okay, what this says, hang on. I will read it. Technically, yes. But you can actually put it in and it'll run better, though. Let's see here. Yeah, it says add contents into tank before or after fueling. One bottle treats up to 68 liters of gasoline. So, yeah, you just dump this in your fuel and have at her. So, yeah, it should be fun. Should be fun. Plus, this is STP, so it actually should work properly and everything. So, like, and people used to swear by Octane Booster back in the day. They used to put Octane Booster in their cars, and every like time they went to the track, in their fuels, and be a lot faster. So I'm curious, like, will this bring my, like, how much quicker is the car going to be with the Octane Booster in it, right? And it's not something that I'm going to put in every time, but, it will be kind of cool. Who knows? Eventually, one of these mods is going to make the tire squawk, and I just want to hear it. I just want to hear my tire squawk one time. Because my car won't do a burnout with the current torque converter that's in it. And I know it's the torque converter. But it's better than it was. Much better. But it still does flood the carb, which that's just the jets. So once, I just need to order some jets, put them in. It's fine. Because the jets are still a little too big. But other than that, she runs great that way. It's just, I'm having other issues. Like the timing chain right now, I think is what's causing my miss. Because the timing chain is stretched. So It doesn't bog at all. The only time that it bogs with the car is if you're gonna launch it, and if you keep the revs up, it'll bog and die on you if you just do it that way. Okay, no worries. But I found in my car that if you just go from the brake immediately to the gas afterwards and manually shift it, that is the best way to get this car to actually go. Because it used to be that if you left it just in D, it was faster than you manually shifting it, but now it's not. So, with a new carburetor, I'm not sure why. But also, it doesn't want to seem to rev as high in drive with the new carb versus the old one. So, that's fine. You know, but I shifted at 3,800 RPM, and she likes it at that RPM. To go faster, because any lower than that, it just gets slower, so. That's about the peak, I think. Although I am curious, because I haven't tried it. What exactly is my quote-unquote rev limiter, because I do have... Well, there's not actually a proper rev limiter, but, you know, when the valves start to float, it's probably around 5,200 RPM is my guess. Most Ford engines are around that range, so... But hey, my new coil can withstand up to 6,400 RPM, so it's kind of nice. Or is it 62? It might be 6,200. So, you know. And I won't ever rev it that high. But whenever I have a manual transmission in the car, it'll be great. You know, that'll be next summer. Or potentially spring, but, you know, it won't be anytime soon. Sadly. And, oh, something, because I don't know if, I guess the one person watching this at the moment, if you've seen my little short video on the car that I was going to buy on Saturday, if you heard the story about that. Because, oh boy, that was not a great car deal. So okay, this deal, the car was, yeah, there was a 83 Mustang convertible 5-liter 5-speed, and it was for sale. It wasn't listed anywhere. Actually, a friend of mine, it was down the block from his house, and he's just like, hey, here's this car. You know, just snapped some pictures of me, snapped his number. That's, you know, didn't even say what the price was on the thing or anything. Just, you know, phone number, right, for sale. So I'm like, okay. I gave the guy a shout. I initially texted him, and he did not want to give any details over text, which that's troublesome. When somebody does that, just like, I don't know about that. That was a red flag already. So just okay, whatever. And I just left it, right? But then he calls me. I think it was on Thursday he called me. Maybe Friday, actually. And, you know, we're chatting on the phone a little bit. And I don't know. I mean, there's some people that don't like texting, but, you know, that's fine. However, to be that bad, it's like, okay, whatever. It was just one of those deals. So he calls me, and I didn't know what he was talking about when he first called me. Then I finally clued in. It's like, oh, okay, you're the one selling the Mustang, okay? Talked a little bit about details, not much. You know, he said, oh, you know, it's got a good clutch in it. The car runs and drives good. There's no rust on the car. It's only got 67,000 kilometers on it. You know, that sort of thing on the motor. So I'm like, okay, I mean, I told him at the time that I'll have to see if I can get the money together, which I was able to get the money together to go try and buy this thing. I borrowed it from a friend of mine. And then, so I go on Saturday before the hockey game, go down to this guy's house. And I actually got there before he did. So he comes home, and the very first thing he says to me, before just saying hi, how you doing, whatever else, he literally says this, is, It's $1,500. There's no negotiation on it. If you can't afford it, walk away. That was the first thing he said to me. We're just like, geez, dude. Okay, fine, whatever. So I'm looking around the car, and it's a decent car overall, but it does need a lot of work. Like, um, the battery was, little lower on charge and whatever else, and he wasn't sure about the battery, so it probably would have needed a battery as well. But okay, I pulled a dipstick, and this oil was so black that it looked like it hadn't been changed in about 15 years. I wouldn't be shocked if there was sludging in that motor. I look around the car. He said no rust. Well, the passenger side rear quarter along the bottom of it, hey, look, there's a little bit of rust. Not a lot, but a little bit. And he kept saying, oh, it's a 40-year-old car. It's not going to be mint. It's a 40-year-old car. That doesn't mean anything. The top wouldn't go down. He said there was a gear that was stripped out, which is bullshit because there's no gears in a convertible top of one of those. There's not. It's all done through hydraulics. So the passenger side rear quarter window wouldn't go down. He also wouldn't let me drive the car either. Now, his reasoning for that, I can understand. He said because there's no insurance on the car, which I would have just taken it around the block, whatever. I didn't care, but fine. So I'm in his driveway, and basically I put it into reverse, and it goes into reverse pretty good and everything. But I mean, also the shifter is very vague, right? So I get it into reverse, and then I press on the brake, and it's only about the last 20% of the pedal that actually stops anything. It's like, oh, this thing needs brakes bad. And I told him that. And he's just like, well, what do you expect? It's a 40-year-old car. It's going to need work. Just like, and this guy said it needed minor things, just a couple of things. And he kept saying, oh, you're going to find this part in the junkyard. You can find this part in the junkyard. Well, no. When is the last time you saw a convertible Fox body in a junkyard, dude? They don't pop up very often. And exactly, like, the thing is, I can understand, okay, if it needed brakes, that's fine. But these were bad. Like, I wasn't even sure this car was going to make it back home. Like, if I needed to stop for a red light, it wasn't going to be able to stop. I didn't know. And plus, I revved it out once. And, ooh, did that motor have a nasty shake when I did that? Because it was idling perfect. But then, a little bit of a rev, I revved it to, I think, like 2,800 RPM, maybe. And yeah, just this nasty shake that it had of that. And I'm just like, eh. So I ended up just walking away from it. And the guy was just kind of this greasy, slimy dude, and honestly, just incredibly rude. And I just wasn't having it because and it's funny because he said, hey, I'm doing my friend a favor by selling his car. I just wanted to say, no, you're not. And what's funny, when I told him that he was being rude, he's like, no, I'm not. I'm being honest. No, you're being rude. There's a difference between honesty and being rude. You can be honest without being rude. That's true. But yeah, and it's just like these type of people, I just no. I just did not feel right with that car. Oh, plus also, I forgot to mention the back window needed to be reattached because it had fallen out. So it was still there, but it needed to be reattached properly. Yeah. So I did not feel comfortable with it. Although it was a 5-liter 5-speed car, which is pretty neat. You don't see very many. And as well, oh hey, Mr. Mach 1, I apologize. I did not see your message when you came in. I was talking about that freaking 83 that I was thinking about buying. But now here's something interesting about that car. Because normally when you find a convertible, they're typically pretty loaded. This one had almost no options in it. Somebody had upgraded the stereo at some point in it. But then it had manual windows and manual locks. It had leather seats. It did not have air conditioning. And it's like, okay, this is a very weirdly combination car. No, it was a GT. It was a GT, but it did not have the GT body kit, but it was a GT according to the VIN. Because I did decode the VIN. It was just weird to see it like that. But you could get GTs spec'd out that way, but that was ordered that way. It had to have been, because there's no way that they made it like that. No way. But it was cool. Like, the car was cool. And yes, like, the thing is, if the car didn't shake, I may have bought the car. But, and actually, for whoever said that I still have the $1,500, no, I actually gave that back to my friend. Because I borrowed the money to potentially buy this car in the first place. And I didn't end up buying it, so, you know, and he was kind enough to lend me the money, and, you know, he took it back. And without charging me any interest, so that was nice. But yeah, it's so I don't have $1,500. That was in my bank account and out of it, all in one day. Oh yeah, that's fair. And like, to be honest, if it didn't have that shake, I may have bought it. Because I didn't have confidence that motor was going to make it home. And the thing is, what I would have done with the car is I may have just seen if I could flip it at that point, or part it out a little bit, take the tranny for myself, part out everything else in the car, and just do that. I'm not sure if it was timing, because, like, when it was idling, it was perfect. Like, it ran beautifully. It was until you revved it that it had that shake. Like, what I think the issue was with that car... Okay, ow, hey! Don't bite me, you jackass. Sorry about that. The thing is, with that car, because of how black the oil was, I think there was sludging of the oil in it, which was causing the shake. Plus, the oil pressure was sky high too on the gauge. And yes, I know those gauges are a little more of an idiot gauge, but they're not as much of an idiot gauge as people say they are. There, I'll play with you, but don't bite me. Eh? You meanie? Don't bite me. That's just rude. Eh? You're rude. Hey, you, Saver. Yeah, I'm playing with my cat in case you didn't notice. But he bit me, little bugger. Have fun. But, yeah. So, you know, it was just one of those deals where I just did not feel comfortable buying that car off that guy. And to be honest, like, if he was here in town, I would have bought it in a heartbeat, because getting it home would have been fairly easy. But I had to drive the car, like, an hour and a half to try and get it home. I had zero confidence that car was going to make it home. So, I just didn't do it. But honestly, I'll find another one. I might not find another 5-liter 5-speed convertible for that price. But I will find... Basically, I want to find another Fox body convertible. I miss my old one so much that I will find one. That's a nice car, you know, that doesn't need a lot, because I don't need a second project either. Like, somebody will buy that car for $1,500. Don't get me wrong. It just wasn't going to be me. If the guy would have negotiated, I would have given him $1,000 for it. Just because it needed a lot of work. He said it needed little bits and pieces. Well, it was actually a lot of bits and pieces, so. The interior was in good shape, though. I'll give it that. It was black leather seats, which was weird. I had never seen leather in a Mustang. Of that vintage, anyways. So, that was cool. But, just, the guy was just a freaking weasel, that way. But, that'll happen. You know, I've dealt with people that are just horrible like that, but not when buying a car. It's usually when I'm selling it for. So, did I get people like that? Like, only one of my car deals ever, which I've sold a lot of cars, but only one of my car deals ever have been I had to like yell and walk away. So but that's fine. Because yeah, I've been uncomfortable doing car deals, absolutely. But and when like people just want to hit on you more than buy the car, and it gets really awkward at that point. And then I have to let them down gently, because yeah. Oh, I was. You didn't miss a ton. I just talked about my dealings with that '83 Mustang on the weekend. Because there was one person in here that didn't see that little short video I did, which there's more added to that story than just in that short, but I had a minute to film that, so. But I'll probably outline the entire thing in a video in the future too. Yeah. See, that's sad. Like, the thing is, I usually get people who are pretty good, and typically people that come out here to buy the cars that I'm selling usually are prepared to buy it too, and they're usually fairly nice. I've had some just horrible people, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's just it's one of those deals, and it's fine. To be honest, I would have paid him $1,000, but but he would not negotiate one bit, so that's fine. Whatever. I didn't need another project. Not that heavy of a project, anyways. And plus, I needed a new top too. Because he's just like, oh, you can just like patch this. It's like, you're not patching that. You're repairing that. Like, and the body was repainted about 15 years ago. Which he told me that when I was there. Because I thought it was an original burgundy car. It wasn't. It was white. And you could see the white paint coming through. So, no, it wasn't even his car. That was not his car. He was selling it for a friend. It was a favor for his friend, which that's not much of a favor if you're going to be that much of an ass. And yeah, you used to be able to pick up. Well, you used to be able to pick up Fox bodies for next to nothing in general. Like, the convertibles are the cheapest of all the Fox bodies because nobody really cares about the convertibles that much. That's kind of sad. The convertible Fox bodies are fantastic. I miss mine. To be honest, out of everything he said, I'm sure that I don't think he was lying about that being somebody else's car. Some of them, Mopar, not definitely. There are some people that are like that. Um, and like that car, it just yeah. Like if it was here in town, I would have paid the $1,500. Drove it home because I had confidence this was gonna make it down the street, but hour and a half home, no. And I would have immediately changed the oil, and you know did a couple other fluid changes on it just to make sure, and and then be hopefully okay. You can't buy a car from the junkyard for $300 around here. No junkyard will sell a car to you for that. Like, and it's interesting because, like Pick and Pull, for example, when they sell vehicles, um, oh, because they can just because that's what they pay. They still want to make money and they want to make a good margin too if they can. Like, the thing is, there are vehicles that, for example, get donated that are fantastic vehicles, but you know that they just wanted it gone. So that's cool. Because I love ram chargers, to be honest. I would love to, my first car was almost a ram charger. Almost. I checked it out 2 weeks before I bought Stitch, actually. Running driving car. The problem was it needed a lot of work though. And, it's one of those deals. Yeah, see, and also like scrap is really high right now too for stuff. So there's that. Like you can't find anything for $200 nowadays. There's no way. Like people will try and throw $100 at me for some of the cars I'm selling just for scrap, and I'm going, hell no. I'm sorry, no. You cheap ass. If I was gonna scrap it, I'd just take it myself. Old school. He's not overpaying. I promise you. Go look at the price of scrap right now. It's high. Like, and it's been high for quite a while too. Everything car related right now is bloated. You look at the used car market right now, and every used car is worth about an extra 40% from where it was in 2019. It's insane. Similarly, scrap as well, because because of all the shutdowns and everything too. There's less steel being made in places, so it actually gets the increases the price of scrap, which makes perfect sense. Oh yeah, like, and scrap's been up for a while too, like quite a number of months. So yeah, and then we've got the chip shortage for stuff. And there's soon to possibly be an aluminum shortage or a magnesium shortage, actually. Oh, hey, Bryce, how's it hanging? Definitely appreciate you coming out to the live stream. I'm doing pretty good. We've been going for a little over 2 hours now, and it's been a great time. Hi, Saber. I don't think I have water for you. If you go get me a bottle of water, I will put water in your thing. He doesn't listen to me. Yeah, see, like, and depending on the vehicle, because I know, like, and I'm sure. Well, catalytic converters can be worth a lot of money. Like, I have a catalytic converter to sell. I probably won't get much out of it because it's a catalytic converter out of my '81 Mustang. It's not very big. But I need to just go out to Olds and talk to the scrapper out there and be like, hey, what will you pay for this? It'll probably just pay for my gas, but modern catalytic converters, though, are a lot bigger, too. And I'm sure Mr. Mach 1 can attest to this. If you get, the German cars, specifically, like, full-size Mercedes, that's modern, their catalytic converters are big, and they have a lot of them. Where, your car or mine might have one or two. Like, Mercedes E-Class has, like, 5. It's just insane. Like, you could buy, like, an E-Class that still has the catalytic converters in it that runs and drives, like, on a complete pile for, like, $500. Cut out the exhaust in it completely and sell all of that for over $1,000, and then have a car that you made money on and still a running driving car. Take it on a derby or something. Like, which I've thought about if I can ever find one to do that with, but the deal, finding one for $500 nowadays doesn't happen very often anymore. Really? Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, as long as you don't have emissions testing there, absolutely get rid of it. Because all it's doing is robbing your motor of power and making it run worse. Because once you delete all the emissions, it'll run better. It'll have more power. It'll be happier. And all that stuff. Oh, I'm sure diesel cats are worth the most. Yeah, well, anything emissions related, yeah, just get rid of it. You don't need it. Charcoal canister, honestly, you don't need it. You know, any EGR pumps, catalytic converters, charcoal canisters, EGR valves, any of that, you can get rid of it on your car. As long as, now just remember that, make sure that it's legal where you are, because I think, does Ontario have emissions testing? Because I know that Manitoba got rid of theirs a couple years back, but I don't know about Ontario. Oh, no more emissions testing? Yeah, rip it out. Like, I don't... Yeah, I mean, charcoal canisters aren't really worth anything unless it's somebody's trying to put their emissions back together. Like, to be honest, I've never dealt with a charcoal canister because nothing I've owned has had one. Because that's more of a modern thing, as opposed to the old school stuff, right? Okay, fine, I'll get you water. Hang on just a second, I'll be right back. Oh god, I need to clean some of this crap up that's on my chair too. So I have more room. Yeah, it's a mess in here. God, I really need to clean. Hey, I'll be right back. Oh, no. No, I don't want the cat eating that. The other... Oh, nice. There you go. Hi, Saber. Just give me a minute. But, okay? Meow! Just hi, Saber. Look, it's right here. There you go. And I am back. Did you miss me? But yeah, no, it's one of those deals right now. Like, everything automotive is bloated in price. So, yeah, but that's how it goes, though. There's always ups and downs in the market. Well, you know, it's funny how many people, they will ask about my car. And then, because I had one on TikTok yesterday, actually, of all places, asked me, hey, would you sell your car? Just like, unless you massively overpay for it, sure. And he asked, well, how much is a massive overpay? And I said 10 grand. And he said, okay, thank you for your time. No worries. Because, yeah. Because now, don't get me wrong, I know exactly what I have to replace my car with. If, you know, if I sold my car, I know where there's another one. Oh, nice. Like, I mean, and with my Mustang, to be honest, like, if somebody gave me 10 grand, I know exactly what I'd do. I'd go up to Edmonton, I'd negotiate with the frickin' guys at Pick and Pull up there, and I'd buy their inline 6 Mustang. Because they have an inline 6 notchback. It's an 82 there. They're asking 4 grand, which is too much. It just is. Don't get me wrong, it's in really good shape. But it's also missing a starter, so you don't even know if it runs. But, you know, it's one of these things where, hey, you know, they got this car, and it was probably donated. It was in somebody's garage forever. And, yeah. and then do all the mods I want to do with that. Because with I'd probably want to pay only maybe about $2,000 for that car. Probably less, actually. And then yeah, and then hey, look, I've got $6,000 to spend, or I could buy something totally out left field because it's still for sale. It's been for sale for a long time. Is a '72 Dodge Charger with a slant six in it. That one would be an interesting buy for me, but you know, but I'm not gonna sell my car unless it's something massively overpaid. But yeah, that's cool, old school. And hey, Jesse, definitely appreciate you coming out the live stream. Hope you're doing well this evening. Um, but yeah, I mean, but that's only if somebody overpays for my car, which they're not going to. So that's good. That's good. I'm doing fantabulous as well. I've got pizza. I've got a cat that finally decided to shut up because I gave it some water on my lap. And also, today, because I was playing around with my car, and I got a new coil in today, which is a Super SL Super Stock coil. And the performance difference between that and the stock coil was a lot, actually. I was surprised at how much of a difference it made. Because now it was the stock OEM coil in that car. Like, that was the original coil in the car. It's kind of cool because everything I pull off the car is date coded. Yeah, like, I was amazed that it did that much better with that new coil. I knew it was going to be a better, but I didn't think it was going to be that much better. Oh, for sure. But, I thought, maybe, I wasn't thinking 6/10 in the quarter mile, though. Now, I just wonder, when the thing's actually running right and running beautifully, no issues. Um, Oh, hey, Vader, no worries. I definitely appreciate you coming over to the live stream. Hope you have a pleasant evening, and I'll chat to you later. Bye. I get you. um, but yeah, like when I have because I hope that the double roller timing chain actually fixes the miss. Because if that fixes the miss, then oh god, she's gonna run so much better, so much better. And it's gonna be a lot faster too when it's not missing. So, because it's gotten worse, it's definitely gotten worse. Which I need to like pull the plugs tomorrow, clean them, re-gap them, throw them back in. Oh, cool. That's exciting. Yeah, that is awesome. Well, that'll be really cool when you get that thing all together and up and going again. Because, yeah, gotta love an old Ford Atlantics. Mm. Oh, it tastes so good. Well, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Plus, the reliability of it's really nice too. Because like the 300 is even better than the 200 even. Not sure to be honest. Like, I don't know. I've got these seat covers and cushions, which I'm probably gonna put on the front seats. But other than that, like I don't. When you start getting into upholstery, it gets very, very expensive very fast. So, yeah. It's not like you're gonna find seat covers for that either. You're gonna have to get them made. So that's gonna cost even more. Right, when you're all said and done, I mean, to reupholster those two front seats, you're probably looking at around $1,000. Like, it's not worth it. I'd much rather just cover it up and be done with it there. Because the seats are comfortable enough. But then there's also this because where we bought the seats from, could, but I don't actually know how to sew. So there's that. Plus also, automotive, automotive stuff with sewing is a lot different versus, regular sewing. Big difference. Well, see, old school, I would like to, but with the rust repair I have to do, it's going to be hard to keep the patina. That's the only thing. So, because I need to, there's that giant rust hole in the rocker which I need to fix. Which I'll just do myself. I'll basically, because, you're not going to find rockers online, so I'll have to get some made. Basically, when the thing's running and driving and on the road, I'm going to drive it straight to, no, it's not surface rust, it's rust. I have to weld in new metal. It's not... And trust me, I have a proper palm sander and everything. I wouldn't frickin' use SOS pad on that, no. It's possible, yeah. It's just out of my realm of doing, though. Because I have no idea how to do that. There are methods, but I don't know them. And a lot of those people keep those secrets pretty tight to the chest. They don't like to reveal how to do that. Okay, Saber. No, why would I... Okay. I don't understand people that do that. Why would you remove... I can understand, okay, if it was not an originally equipped sunroof, that's fine. This is an originally equipped sunroof. Why would you fill it in? That's just kind of dumb, to me, anyways. Like, yes, if the sunroof didn't fit properly or anything like that, and if it was an aftermarket one, sure. But that's an OEM sunroof. Why would I do that? Exactly. I like a sunroof. It's only if a sunroof doesn't match the car, then okay. But that sunroof matches the car. That's the original sunroof to that car. Like, and this is not really a car that I want to super modify anyways. Like, yes, do I want to do some stuff to it? Absolutely. And there was a guy in one of the first gen Civic groups that I'm part of, because I'm part of a couple, that, well, he is selling, he may have already sold it, but he was selling, for sure, a turbo kit for my car. And it's pretty cool. The guy wants $550 US for it, and it's an entire turbo kit for that Civic, which is cool. I mean, yes, okay, it is dealer installed, but it's still Honda. That's the difference. It's not an aftermarket, like, you know, those crappy sunroofs that you get installed. This is not one of those. I promise you that. That sunroof's actually nice. So yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm keeping that. Because, and also with that car, that's how it was originally sold at the dealership. Like, I don't want to alter it too heavily at all. Like, you know, maybe put a header on the car and do the exhaust. That's about it. Like, why do really much else? Yeah, I'm not too worried about that in that car. That thing, all the doors closed solid, nothing sags. We're good. Yeah, I might get one. I don't know. And there is that too. When it's all closed up, which I need to get the pin actually for the one side, which I'll just end up making a pin probably. For the sunroof itself, because the left clip is there, but the right clip, it just needs one little pin. That's it. So, you know, fairly simple to do though. Just get the right gauge steel, the right thickness, and knock it in there. Away you go. Pretty simple. Because yeah, it'll still open and close. It just doesn't close as tightly as it could because of that pin missing. Other than that, I mean, and a shock tower brace, I probably have to build because I don't think anybody makes those for a first gen. Like, there's almost zero. Like, there's hardly any aftermarket for a first gen Civic. And the stuff you do find is vintage stuff. You don't find any new. So it gets really hard to track down any parts you want for a Civic for first gen. Second gen is a lot easier to find because there's so much more aftermarket support for it. And then, of course, third gen and on and on. But first gen, there's hardly any. That's sad. But yeah, to be honest, for structural rigidity, that car's fine. I promise you that. Like, that Civic, with how everything closes and everything, it is much nicer than, you know, than even my car with closing the doors and stuff. You know, the doors are lighter and they just have a much easier closing and stuff. The windows roll down really amazingly because mine don't, even on my Mustang. Yeah. And to be honest, I wouldn't say the Civic bumpers are small. Because they're actually a good size bumper on that Civic. Like, you know, the bumper sticks out about that far. Even though some of that is a spacer, yes. But they are a thicker bumper than most cars. You know, yeah, it's not to the level of like a 70s Grand Marquis, for sure. But, or an old truck. But for what it is, that's a thick bumper. Why is the antenna on the passenger side? I mean, yeah. Oh, to be honest, the thing is, Honda's build quality was way better than Ford's. I already know this. Going through that car, it's so much nicer. Yeah, like a lot of vehicles have it on the passenger side, or they have it on the roof on the back now too. Um, like the Civic, it's on the passenger side, but it is actually on the it's on the roof. So it's at a little bit of an angle because we did buy an well, new it was used antenna for it, but put it in there and then it's bolted in and everything, but the cord kind of got the wire for it got screwed up because our antenna was just bent to crap whenever else. So just like, just replace it, no big deal. Like there's some stuff that you can find parts really easy, but it's all used. You never find new parts, and if you do, they want way too much money for it. Like it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's not centered on the roof at all. It is on the passenger side towards the front. In all of my first gen Civic stuff, nobody has mentioned that site. And bear in mind, I've searched a lot of freaking forums and shit. Just put the stuff over there, whatever. I don't care for now. I'll clean it up later. I'm going to access my laptop here and go to this website. Well, yeah, your cars are much easier to find parts for, though. Because you actually have aftermarket support for yours. I don't. There's that, right? You have a CRX and a 80s Civic. Granted, your 80s Civic is a sedan, but still. Much, much easier to find parts for. Okay. Actually, what was that notification? Oh, no, it was just another... Okay, it was just one of those things. Okay. Once this laptop loads up... Oh, you know how hard that is to do on those? Like, I'd have to physically pull parts to find part numbers, for the most part. Because a lot of... Yeah, like, a lot of the stuff you can't... I do have a part number book, kind of. But I don't know if it's actually... Whatchamacallit? Accurate. Like, yeah, and the Chilton's manual I have for it doesn't give me parts numbers either. That I do know. Because, yeah, most places I go to can't find parts anywhere. Like, any of the stuff that I find is probably going to be from the States. So that's a given. I have found some stuff, like Rock Auto carries a couple of parts, but not much. If the computer will load, come on. Hi, Zipper. Wait, is that on? Oh, I can't even tell if it's on or not. Yeah, well, see, new old stock Civic parts are gonna be way too freaking expensive. Are you kidding me? No way. I'm not. I'm not spending $5,000 on parts for this car. There's no way. Because anything OEM for a first-gen Civic, people mark up so hard. And you've seen it. Like, people ask way too much money for their stuff. Doesn't matter what it is. Like, a lot of the stuff, the basic stuff I can find. It's not that easy to find engine parts either. Like, okay, yeah, coil. I mean, you can just use a universal coil, which we ended up doing. The cap and rotor that we got, actually, we could only use the rotor because the cap was terrible. The plug wires were terrible that we got. They were, like, new old stock. They were, like, 30 years old, and they were just deteriorating. They were terrible. And that's also the problem with OEM, like, new old stock, too, at times, is, yeah, it might be new old stock, but it's very old, and it's just falling apart. At times, depending on what it is. Yeah, so it still has the original plug wires on it. Civic Garage, I haven't really found much good on that website, to be honest, for the first gen. Literally, like, I've looked through it. They don't really have much of what I need at all. Plus, and off the top of my head, do I know all the parts I need? No. Like, I know that I need brake hardware for the rear drums. I have drums. I have shoes. I have new brake pads for the front. I could not find discs anywhere, though. Oh, yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I could just order a set of custom wires for it, and that's totally fine. Okay, if my freaking computer will load, jeez. Well, see, I have a sneaking suspicion a lot of these websites aren't going to have much for first gens. Just because that's what I've come across. Because I've looked through a lot, and most of the stuff, they have second gen and up. They typically don't have the first gen stuff. Most websites that I've come across so far. And if they do have first gen stuff, it's very minimal. Like, you look at Rock Auto, they only have a few listings on their website for first gen Civic. But second gen Civic, you can buy just about the whole car. It's stupid. Okay, Jesus. Like, that's why so many people with these first gens, they honestly just adapt modern stuff into them. Which you can. You know, they B18 swap it. Okay, is this gonna frickin' load? Jeez. Yeah, eBay is too much money. Like, I do have a book of part numbers for, interchangeability. But I mean, they might. I don't, but also, like, the problem is you're telling me to call, but I don't even know what parts I need. That's also, the car isn't even here. So what is that? Alright, the car's at the shop now. I mean, it's out of my hands. It really is. Vapor Carburetor. Basically, they're getting it to run and drive proper. Gonna fix the brakes properly, and then gonna inspect it and see what else it needs. Whenever he gets around to working on it. Because yes, he has been drinking, but... Okay, let's see, vpartsinc.com. Okay, what is this? Okay, go to automotive. Oh, Jesus. Okay, Honda. Yeah, no shit. I typed in Honda Civic. Yeah, I'm not liking this vpartsinc.net to be or .com. No, 1980 is not the same. Nowhere near. None of the parts interchange just about between a second gen and a first gen. Yeah, like all of this stuff on VParts Inc. This is all newer Civic stuff. Like I type in 1978 Civic, nothing shows up. Like properly, it's all modern stuff. This is just dumb. I don't like that. What was the other site you said? Yeah, which is pain in the rear. I hate looking for part numbers, to be honest, on crap. But again, car's not in front of me, so whatever. I'm not gonna worry about it. He'll get to it when he gets to it. Just like it's not like I won't be able to drive it for quite a while anyways. Like I wouldn't be shocked if the car isn't actually on the road until like springtime, to be honest. Just because of how much of a nightmare it is to find parts. And it just is. Whatever you try and look for that thing, there's no listings anywhere for it. Like, yes, for some stuff like the steering wheel and crap like that, of course. But for the actual stuff that makes it go down the road, no. Well, I mean, you say that, but, you know, people could have converted that and did aftermarket for these cars, but they don't. That's the problem. Because, like you say, that it's because it's on microfiche. Yeah, so many other vehicles were back then too. But aftermarket companies actually decided, hey, we should make parts for this. They haven't. Yeah, like I have a book of alternate part numbers to fit, but I don't even think it's accurate, to be honest. Because referencing other stuff, it comes up as something totally different, and you start to look at stuff, it just does not come out right. So I'm kind of SOL on that. But it's fine. It's fine. You know, I just wish that like you'd think it's a Honda Civic, you'd think that somebody would have picked it up, but they don't. And there's a reason why that first-gen Honda Civics don't sell worth for shit. Your cars are much easier. I can rebuild an entire CRX going online. That's actually very easy to do. For the most part, there's going to be some odd things, but for the most part, getting it running and stuff like that, very easy to do. Yeah, well, that's a little different. Any of the interior parts, yeah, of course, that's gonna be harder to do. But I don't like. That's not what I'm looking for. You know, literally all I'm looking for the car right now. Like, yeah, there's some other stuff, but it's not important. Like those bumper ends, for example, that you are sending to me tomorrow. But for like actually getting it down the road, that's what I care about more than aesthetic stuff. Oh, it took them long enough, right? Like, seriously, it's ridiculous of how bad they are. But then also how bad Montreal is, which nobody wanted to say that Montreal was a bad team, and they were. Even though yes, they made the finals last year, but that was just a stroke of luck because they're not a good team. Well, see, and that's what happens when Patrick Kane comes back into the lineup. Mm. Like, and because you were asking about the seats and like because I had bought those newer seats, they're tan. I still have the original blue seats, but they've been out in the weather for months. And the frames are in good shape, but the upholstery is just bad. But you know, we're just gonna end up chucking those seats to be honest. Just haven't done it yet because we don't have a dump nearby. That's the problem. But it's fine. Um, I would not trust those seats sitting in that car to be honest. Like the difference is, at least with these ones, yeah, okay, they're torn a little bit, but they're comfortable. Because you can also get seats that have been sitting out in the elements forever, and like, plus, it looked like there was wildlife going through the car. Unless you're talking about the one that was up on the thing, but then again, the door was open on that, was it not? Like, those seats are going to be pretty hurting, I'm sure. Yeah, like that. Yeah, see, like, and I'll just keep the seats that it has. It's fine. You know, I'll put the covers on it. I'll put the foam on it, and it'll be fine. That's fair. I mean, it's not. I don't know. Upholstery is very expensive. It really is. Like, yeah, it just is. I'll probably just end up, like I said, putting the covers on it, throwing that because it came with some foam as well to put on it too, make it even more comfortable. The people swear that we got these from Up and Down, like they used to drive his car all the time with it, and they're just like very comfortable. Which I mean, they weren't gonna lie about that, you know, because they just threw it in with it, and yeah, it was fine. Yeah, well, see, these are oversized, but it's because of the foam that goes underneath it to make it much more comfortable. So yeah, but it's fine. I mean, I don't care. Like, I mean, hell, look at the car I drive right now and look at the interior. You think I really give a shit about how the seats look? Like right now, I couldn't care less. Like, I mean, hey, you care, but it's not your car. So, what's that? Oh, okay. Never mind. Technically, the $50 that you invested did not go to the Civic. Technically speaking. Don't get me wrong, in the future it probably will, but that specific $50 did not. Because I just really needed the money at the time. That's the difference. You see, white seats are such a pain. Like, the thing is, because I've thought about, I mean, the original seats from my Mustang are in the junkyard right now. They're still there. They are 1 year only color, and I've thought about getting them back and reupholstering them and putting them back in the car. But I don't know. Like, I still want to do the Shelby seats. I just do because they're so much more comfortable. Plus, they're not vinyl, which is nice because vinyl is annoying. I hate vinyl, and I hate leather too, for that matter. See, I don't. I prefer proper fabric. The reason being is, well, for me, when I decide, hey, I'm gonna wear shorts and a dress, or like a dress, I burn the crap out of myself on those seats. I hate that so much. Because I do it all the time in my dad's car. It's freaking awful. Because he has leather seats and I hate them. I mean, it'll probably end up being my car when it's all said and done. I'll probably buy it off him, but... Like, truthfully. Not that I'm saying, hey, go reupholster my seats. But I'm... Like, it probably will end up being my car, though. Just get a passenger seat, man. See, and I'm shocked that they came out easy because they usually don't. Usually, those rubber bumper pieces, typically, when you try and take them out, they don't come out. They usually snap. The rubber is usually a little petrified, and it just, breaks in half. So yeah, I am happy though that they came out pretty easy because yeah, usually when you find them, they're just not in good shape. Like I had a guy that was supposed to send me a bunch of parts for that thing, but he never did. So. Oh, there will be a video. Don't worry about that. Anytime somebody sends me anything like that, there usually is. There's been a couple of. I mean, I have received stuff that hasn't been unboxed on camera, but you say that there is a added thing in there, so yeah. I want to. Plus, I mean, they're kind of rare parts to find, so it's kind of cool to do an unboxing. Yeah, I can't wait. And if I'm lucky, actually, no, they won't be here by the end of the week. I mean, see, and that's been the struggle with that carburetor. I don't even want, because I haven't even gone to get a price estimate of what it's going to cost to ship that carburetor to the guy that I did the giveaway for. Like, he won the giveaway for that carb, and I still haven't sent it out yet. It's been 2 months. And I'm sure it's going to be very expensive, because he's down in the States, it's the problem. If he was in Canada, it'd be so much cheaper. Because you have to do with customs, and that gets expensive. But, yeah, that's a well. No, I haven't. I've had no money. That's the problem. I've been having to fix my fucking car. And then plus spending money to do YouTube videos and stuff, it gets expensive. Because, like just traveling to do YouTube videos and whatnot. Now, I haven't been doing that lately, obviously, but when I was. guy named Mark, actually. Can't remember his last name at the moment, but he's a very big fan. He is perfectly understanding though of the situation because I'm not. You know, it is upsetting. And then, yeah, it's just if I was able to sell a car or something, then I'd have money and I can go send it out. Because I'm sure it's probably going to be at least $60, which is a lot of money to me. Yeah, it's just one of those deals. I just don't feel good about it though. That's the problem. Like, you announce you're going to do a giveaway, and you do the giveaway, and you haven't been able to send it out. I mean, yes, because I said I was going to. That's the difference. Like that is the difference. I mean, to be honest, like this carburetor that I have, okay, when it's gone through, you know, what job would I do? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if I'd want to be a driver. I don't know. Sorry, I hate talking about employment. I just do. Because, you know, I haven't been able to work for a long time. Anytime that employment's brought up with my family, it always ends in just some sort of an argument of some description, and it's just like, really, I just want to freaking live off my YouTube. That's what I want to do. When I can build this into that, that'd be awesome. And it's definitely possible. It'll just take a long time. Yeah, I already said it's gonna take years to like. I said that. Yeah, okay. I never said it was guaranteed, but I just said it's what I want to do. Like, what's not okay? Old school. You asked what I wanted to do. I'm fucking telling you what I want to do. And I can build this into something that I can fucking live off of. Okay? Like, telling me this shit, yeah, no duh. That's fucking obvious. But you know, whenever they send me the frickin' pin, I mean, I have $125 waiting for me, which is actually pretty decent so far. You know, is it anything I can live off of? Of course not. I know that. Not right now. But it can turn into something. And here's the thing: I live off of $639 a month right now. Not very well, but I do. So that just goes to show you how resourceful I am in that regard. You know, and yes, if I didn't buy the fancier parts that I did, I'd have a little more money, yes. But that's an investment for later. So exactly. You know, like getting this extra money from YouTube makes it's gonna make it a lot easier. It's just whenever they send me that damn freaking pen, just waiting for it. Which actually I should see, because it should have been here by now, but it's not. And it's peeing me off. Because I said, yeah, it can take up to 4 weeks. Really? It's been like 8. No, it's just direct deposit to your bank account. You cash out every $100, or you can custom make it to whatever you want, but it has to be a minimum of $100. And I've already made over $100, so I'm just waiting. I just want to see if I can resubmit, because this is getting old. Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing though too. No, they pay you. I believe they pay you as soon as you have enough money in your kitty, that they pay you right away. At least that's how I understand it. Oh, of course I fell over. Like, it's not like traditional employment that way. Whoops. There we go. So yeah, and it's just, you know, I'm still learning about this, to be honest. Like, because I haven't officially been paid once, I don't know 100%. Yeah, see, it says they mailed the pen out on September 16th. It should take 2 to 4 weeks to arrive. It hasn't arrived. Yeah, you have to do your taxes. So Okay, I want to try something here. Okay, yeah, I am paid monthly. I just want to update my address here. There we go. I made them resend the pin just now. So hopefully they will send that to me and that I can get that in the next couple of weeks because I could use that money right now. So fucking badly. But whatever, you know. Whenever it comes, because I finally put in. Because I never saw it there. They just had, like, I think what they did, because I didn't have my P.O. box, which they're mailing it, I wish they had just frickin' courier it, because it'd be so much easier. Okay, why is this all screwed up? Or is it the TV that's messed up? I don't know, it's weird. No, it's just the pin, because once I have the pin, then I can get paid, and it'll be probably at the end of the month, which kind of blows, but whatever. And who knows, by then, I might have almost a double payment. So, just depends. Uh, think about it like your bank account that way. The only difference is this is like a one-time pin you put in just to confirm it's you and they have the right address and everything like that. And yeah. Oh, no worries. But yeah, so just whenever I have it, I can finally start to get paid, and it's on a monthly thing. You can also do it on a yearly basis too if you want to, but I'm not doing that. Yeah, like I'm sure there's some people that wouldn't mind getting it yearly, but those are the people making like millions of dollars off of YouTube. That'd be the only time where I'd be like, yeah, okay, maybe do that because you could budget it out easier. But yes, actually, there are ads on my videos, or You know, that's how I technically get paid. And for those that have YouTube Premium, an easy way to make sure that I actually get the ad revenue from me guys is to download the video, which you if you have YouTube Premium, I'm assuming you know how to do that. It's not actually like downloading the full video, it's just downloading it so you can watch it later. It's kind of a cool thing that way. That you can watch it without like internet type idea. But you're not like downloading the full like 6, 8, 10 gigs that these videos are. You're only downloading a couple hundred megabytes at the most. And that's the interesting part. You can download these and it downloads them for 30 days. You don't actually have to watch it. But that's just how the algorithm works. Ugh. You'd be surprised, to be honest. It's just a thing that people do. Yeah, like I have YouTube Premium, so myself, I'm just on a free trial though for it, but once it's over, I'll probably just end up saying no to it. As much as it's been nice not, watching YouTube without ads, but actually, it's like the thing is, it yeah. See, technically, because of that, I don't think I make any money off of you watching my stuff. Technically speaking. Because like, and even this live stream, because when it's done is when I'll monetize it. Because I can't monetize it as I'm doing it. I have to do that. Like, if I did these through the computer, it'd be better. But I don't do that. Like, yes, you've donated to the channel and stuff like that. But well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. He's also donated money to the channel too, so it's all good. Like, I've only had 2 people so far donate to my PayPal, which, like, in text, don't bite me, you jackass. Old school. That's not how it works. The thing is, I get money through ad revenue, which that ad revenue is by you watching the ads. Because you have an ad blocker, you're technically not watching the ads, therefore, I'm not getting anything off you. Just like, when somebody with YouTube Premium watches my content, I get nothing out of that monetarily. Unless if they download the video. But I mean, realistically, it's pennies, to be honest. Exactly, it really is. Like, even if somebody only donates $1, it's actually more than I'll make off of somebody's ad revenue, probably for at least like 2 or 3 weeks. It's when a bunch of people watch my stuff, because, like, actually, let's look this up. Hang on, I got my laptop in front of me. Yeah, because I want to look actually. Why am I not signed in on my computer? That's so weird. Because if I look at YouTube Studio, because I can actually look at the metrics for like the most revenue I've made out of any video and stuff like that, which I think is like $8 or something like that so far. Like again, it's not much. It's cumulative. It adds up, and that's why, like for example, I advertise the crap out of my videos also too, because everybody that watches that, if they watch an ad, well, there you go. And especially if you don't skip the ad, it helps a lot more. Hey, I'm at 1,269 subscribers. Sweet. Analytics. Yeah, okay, I can verify it's me whenever. Stupid thing. It's funny, this laptop, that because I have never signed into YouTube on this one, I guess. Yeah, they're way better. Like, oh, you piece of crap. Can I just do that, please? Because I can't do the prompt right now, can I? There we go, okay, cool. See, now I can... Oh, I can't do that. Whatever. Yeah, see, the only problem is, because I'm doing this on my... Actually, hang on. Might lose you here for a second, but I'll be right back on this. So don't worry about that. Okay, that did not work. This piece of crap. It wants me to verify me, but it won't send me the code. So I just had to do that really quick. But it won't do it. It's just stupid. Because it's not sending me the prompt to do this, so... Screw it. Is my desktop on? Are you 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 on? I can't tell. I might have to get up and turn it on. Because I have the mouse again for my desktop, so that's kind of nice. Because I didn't have batteries for it for the longest time. Give me a second here. This will be better to have on the TV anyways. Okay, it is on. Cool. Okay, cool. I didn't have to turn it on. It turns out it's already on. Sweet. Okay. Give me my keyboard. Turn that on. Sign in. YouTube. Actually, I want to YouTube Studio. God, I forgot how quick a computer can properly be. And even this computer is not even that fast. So it's kind of funny. That way. Because if I go to channel analytics. There we go. Okay, that was weird. Okay, how do I... Just trying to remember. It's been a while since I've been on the computer doing this. Because you can figure out which, like, how to... Or, not how to, but more of... which videos have made the most. Oh my god, okay, that's why. The computer's doing updates. That's why this thing's lagging behind here. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so actually I can see who's all done, who's all done super chats, which is cool. I did not know that. See, and I found that, which I can't wait to have that because that'll be great. Because there is a message in here, and I found it, so I can confirm that he did say it. It was, and I mean, it's a good no. Because it oh, there's nothing I can do about that. Zero I can do about that. Actually, I think I might know why it's doing that. There we go. That might be better now. I'm trying to remember how to... Okay, my top videos... Oh, I actually have to go through videos individually to find that. That's kind of dumb. No, it's not that. It was trying to download an update on the game, and that's why I was doing it. That's interesting. So, like, my, okay, see, that's the most, followed by that. There we go, revenue source. Okay. Okay, no, that's not what I was looking for. Anyways, good night, old school. I'll probably end this live stream pretty quick here too, anyways, cause yeah. So yeah, I'll end this here. So, anyways, for those that have lasted this long, it looks like it's just you left anyway. So, anyways, good night.